The Scoop. The Scoop. Hey, what's up? This is your girl Ashley Marie, and you're tuned into The Scoop, your one stop for all things love, lifestyle, and relationships on MorrisMediaLive.com.
I said, welcome to the school. You know it's time to tune in. You gotta tell all your friends, girl, welcome to the school. You know it's time to tune in. You better tell all your friends, homie, welcome to the school. The time is now, tune in. You better buzz in your friends, y'all, welcome to the school. Gather round, tune in. Now let the show begin. Hey, look, it's time to tune in. If you not, then you faking it. The best topics, love, lifestyle, and relationships. The dopest host in the world, Ashley Marie, holding it down from 7:30 to the 9:00 p.m. You better tell a friend every Wednesday night, cause you know she going in. They breaking the hottest artists in the game right now. No competition, so she in her own lane right now. You need the latest and the greatest, somebody that's gonna debate it. Well, we got it on lock, I know they hate it. See, you can learn a lot if you choose to pay attention. We talk world news, sports, don't let me fail to mention how to get your money right, so you can live a lovely life. Call in and get you some advice. It's not a game no more, we taking over the airwaves. MorrisMediaLive.com to catch the replay. You know it's time to tune in. You gotta tell all your friends, girl, welcome to the school. You know it's time to tune in. You better tell all your friends, homie, welcome to the school. The time is now, tune in. You better buzz in your friends, y'all, welcome to the school. Gather round, tune in. Now let the show begin.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to The Scoop. Happy Wednesday. I am your host, Ashley Marie, and we are your one stop for all things love, lifestyle, and relationships. Tonight is the last show of 2017, so that's epic. And we also have a very special guest here in studio, Mr. Actor, comedian Von Roburts, over here with a big smile on his face. Welcome to The Scoop, Von.
Hello. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Yeah. Welcome. How was your Christmas? We're coming off of Christmas weekend.
It's good. You know, usually people think I'm very cranky, so this is... I felt some real love in the past few days, so it's good.
Why do people feel like you're cranky?
I don't know. My face is usually when I'm not smiling.
You have a cranky face?
Yeah, I have a cranky face.
You have a resting, they call that a resting bitch face.
Oh, yeah, you can go ahead and say it. I mean, yeah.
Not that you're a bitch.
Yeah.
You know
well, they know. So,
yeah. Well, that's good. So you got loved on.
Yeah.
Did you eat a lot?
I tried not to, because I'm trying to get right, man.
Oh, okay. You got summer 2018 on your mind.
Yeah, because I was looking at my previous videos and like my little YouTubes or whatever, and I kept seeing like the dad bod happening. So I really been hitting the sit-ups tough and the prison workouts.
And you guys have seen him. He does a lot of work with All Deaf Digital, right?
Yeah.
He does a lot of the skits. If you go on their Instagram page, you'll see Von Roburts. We'll show some of them tonight.
Oh, that'd be great.
And you've been doing comedy for quite a while now, so we'll get into your story in a little bit. We have our financial advisor here tonight. He'll be joining us via Skype, Yo Harrison. So he'll be giving us, I'm sure, some good financial tips going into 2018.
I love to hear about the money, man.
Yeah, he is the money man. So he'll be on shortly. But I do want to give, since we're coming off of Christmas break, I want to give people a chance to get an idea of some of your work. You do have a Secret Santa at the Office video.
Yeah, that was recently put out.
We'll share that. We'll get that loaded up and on, so that way people can see what Von Roburts does. Wow, if you guys want to call and chat with him, you can. His phone number is 323-293-3375. So people can call and chat, and can they ask you anything?
Anything they want.
Anything.
Yeah, I'm open. I'm an open book. So
all right, I think I have some good questions for you tonight.
And let's hear him.
So we'll see how open you are. All right, we have the video ready. So this is Von Roburts with his Secret Santa at the Office skit.
Yeah, that's it.
Guys, you know how much I love the holidays. Christmas is my favorite. That's why at all your desks I left a gift card over there for you. Yeah, just a token of my appreciation for you being part of the company. And also, this year, as I stated earlier, we're starting Secret Santa. Yeah. So if Anthony and for you guys. It's ready. All right.
Oh, that's nice.
Yep. I got some medicine for you. Don't worry. Dale, you want to go next?
Yeah, absolutely. Champ, happy holidays, man.
Fucking Starbucks. Fuck, Dale. Does it look like he wants Starbucks? I think he's trying to say something with that shit.
Oh, come on, Terrence. Everybody likes Starbucks.
All right, so we had some issues with that video, but that's okay. So Secret Santa at work. Tell us a little bit about that skit. What did you guys do there?
Well, in that skit, I thought about who is the worst person to be with when the office is trying to really share holiday spirit.
Okay.
So I tried to bring that person to life.
So you were that person.
Yeah.
You were the Grinch.
Yeah, I was the Grinch in the office.
So did you guys, in real life, did you guys do Secret Santa at your office at All Def Digital? I saw the holiday video that they posted.
Well, really, what I do is I make the videos and then I send them to them.
Okay, so you're not in the office with them.
I'm not in the office
but they
with
just
them.
post them.
Yeah, they post them.
That's pretty
I send
dope.
them good stuff.
Yeah, that's
So,
pretty dope. That's pretty dope. Okay.
So, I mean, I'm pretty sure they probably had, like, shouts out to Tahir and Aaron at ADD and all of them.
That's my guy.
Yeah, he's a good dude. That's my man.
He is a good guy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, cool.
And Teddy Ray, his special's about to come out.
Teddy Ray is another Scoop friend.
Yes.
He
Those
has a special.
Yes.
Are you a part of it?
No.
Okay.
It's, they are doing an All Def Digital. Not All Def Digital, but a Def Jam.
Okay.
He's doing his. They're putting out his Def Jam set. So.
Okay.
And yeah, my set will be coming soon, but in the near future, I have to work some things out with him first.
Okay. Well, we'll get into your upcoming projects in a little bit. Since we have a little bit of time, I want to find out just some general information about you. So how did you get started in comedy? Like, what made you want to start being a comedian?
Well, I used to just hang out at me and a couple of other famous people had the same barber, and I used to just hang out at the barber shop a lot and just talk.
Okay.
And this was way back in like 2010, and they were like, if you don't do something with that, you can't come around here no more.
Right.
Because it's like pointless. You wasting talent. You wasting our ears. You need to take this somewhere. So they put me. What they did, I kept telling them, yeah, I'll see what's up with it, and then they set me up with a show. Through some mutual contacts, and my first show was at the Laugh Factory, and I got paid for it.
Really?
Yeah.
What was that experience like? Your first show at the Laugh Factory? I
don't even remember what set I did, but it was real fast, and I did well. And I got paid for it. And I was excited to go pick up that $35 check.
Oh.
Was it 2 weeks later? And I was just like, oh, I could do this. And I didn't have no training. I didn't have no knowledge of what I was doing. I was just going up there and being myself.
Right.
So the next few times I went up, it was a humbling experience.
Right.
I was constantly dying. So I submerged myself in the art and started learning and seeking tutelage from different comedians that were in the game for a long time.
Okay. All right. So like who inspired you to do comedy? Obviously the people at the barbershop, but like who do you look up to, I should say?
The people I look up to, they're like dead, like George Carlin, Patrice O'Neal. Those are some of the people that really inspired me. Like, I just like their honesty, and I like how they were able to be themselves.
What kind of how would you describe your comedy? Like, what kind of comedy is it clever? Is it?
I'm a mixture of different things. Like, I can be witty and clever, and I can be straightforward.
Okay.
It's all on. Very tactful in approaching a subject a certain way. I'll either approach it with an experience, or I'll approach it with some logic or a question, and it depends on the subject. But I'm pretty logical. People say I'm very like a nice asshole.
Gotcha.
So yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you do seem very nice. All right. So how do you come up with your content? Do you write it yourself, or do you?
Well, I write it myself. That's one, but it also comes from years and years of experience, and then I'm in tune with the times. So I always focus on what's happening now, and then put my spin on it, and then tell my experience. Like for instance, like when the whole thing about these sexual allegations were happening, I thought it would be funny to tell the other side of the game, basically why certain dudes are doing this certain thing. Are getting caught up in that, you know what I mean? And I was like, it's a mind, body, and spirit thing. Like, you know, these dudes, they lose a track or they lose connection with one of those other pieces, and then they feel like they have to use their money or their power to get what they want, because you know they strive their whole life. Like you look at a dude like what's the guy's name that was making all those shows? I forgot his name. Weinstein. Okay. You look at Weinstein, you like, Weinstein ain't getting no pussy. Right. He gotta do something. Right. You know what I'm saying? He not keeping it in shape. He not fucking praying and meditating. He's not giving no girl no fucking like insight or working on his body. He's got to do something extra. He's got to hold something over their head. He's got to have that carrot for the rabbit. Right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So those movie roles was that carrot.
Yeah, that carrot. Like, hey, you gonna have to help me reach my dreams if you want to reach yours.
Right. Definitely. So what's off limits for you in your comedy, if anything? Is there ever anything off limits as far as your content goes? No, because I feel like in all aspects of life they can be interpreted and broken down to the simplest primal need of a human being. So there's nothing really off limits for me. Okay. Alrighty. So so other than being featured on like All Def Digital on their like social media heavy, what other projects can people find you on? I've worked on some Laugh Out Loud Network projects. That's Kevin Hart's network. Yeah. I've been on a couple of comedy shows that have been on air television, different networks of that. I've worked on the new True TV Laugh Mob Laugh Tracks. That's coming out in January 3rd. Shouts out to my bro Carlos. And just a bunch of things coming out soon. I'm working on a comedy album. So. Yeah. Okay, so you got some stuff coming up. Yeah. All right, well, why don't we do this? We're going to take a quick break, come back with more from comedian, actor Von Roburts, and then but we'll also get into our financial segment with our financial advisor, Yo Harrison. Awesome. So why don't we take a quick music break? Let's see, who do we have up? Oh, Cardi B and G-Eazy. Oh, that works. That works for you? Yeah. All right, you're listening to The Scoop. The Black Iron Gate. Welcome back to The Scoop, you guys. That was Cardi B and G-Eazy with No Limit. We're here in studio hanging out with comedian actor Von Roburts. Thank you for being here. Yay! Before we went to break, we tried to play a video, but now we have a video ready. Tell us about this video we're about to play. So this is the Hooking Your Homie Up video that All Dev Digital got from me. And it's with Jay Snow and my homegirl Janae. Okay. They're both great writers and great actors. So it's funny. It's about basically it's about the awkwardness of a third party trying to help somebody out who don't know how to be helped out. Okay. All right. Well, let's check it out.
Shit, I need my charger. Janae, could you bring me my charger real quick?
Who is that? You got a girlfriend?
Yeah, 1 second.
My roommate. Thanks, love.
You're gonna have to help me out about that.
You want me to? Janae, come here for a second. Von, Janae, Von. Just go ahead and... All right.
You supposed to set some shit up for me. You supposed to say something good about me, nigga.
Bro, I put you on the court. You at least gotta dribble the ball.
Nigga, I don't dribble, nigga. You throw that ball close by the rim and I'll dunk that shit.
Okay. Janae.
What's up?
Just have a seat for a sec.
Okay.
Yeah, what do you got going on tonight?
It's this day party turned to a night party thing that I'm doing with my friends, so...
That sounds dope. Would you be maybe Vaughn could join. It could be like a community thing.
Yeah, you're more than welcome to come. All my friends are going. Their friends.
How much are the drinks?
Oh. Like is that average? Like 10, 12.
I'm good.
Okay. I'm gonna go.
Thank you for.
I only get $200 on an EBT. You fucking sick trying to have me spending all that goddamn money on those goddamn drinks.
She got a job, Vaughn.
I'm not some new wave ass nigga who ain't gonna buy no drinks.
The nigga that she went to the day party with that ain't buy no drinks. I'll never hear the end of that shit in my head.
I don't know what you want me to do, man. Like, you gotta work on your communication skills or something, bro. Because you kinda didn't say shit when she was out here 2 times. Nigga, 2 times you didn't say shit.
My lack of social skills has put me in bad predicaments.
All it's done is remind me I'm not in the right place mentally to be hanging out with a bitch like that. Some high-class motherfucking Wanks Jezebel bitch that want me to pay $12 for a drink.
You know what? You did your best. Let me fix myself.
Your character was angry.
Yeah, when I wrote the sketch, like I wanted him to be outrageous. So that was the point. That was the point of that.
He was definitely outrageous. He was upset about those $12 drinks.
Yeah, it was an exaggeration on what inspired me was running into a bunch of guys with bad social skills. So that's what I got out of it. Like guys who like hang out with chicks, but they don't know how to like communicate well.
Right.
So
it goes nowhere.
Yeah, it goes nowhere.
I feel like that happens actually a lot. Like guys don't know how to, I guess you could say, close the deal.
Yeah.
They don't know how to close the deal. They don't know what to say next, what to do next.
It's a common thing, especially when you go into the clubs that allow people to smoke and just be themselves freely in the back.
Right.
There's always that pack of niggas who be in the back just rolling up trying to get a female to come and smoke with them because that's the only way they can break the ice.
Right.
Versus buying her a million drinks.
Right. Right. So then I was going to wait for later in the interview to talk about that. But so do you date?
Do I date?
Or are you dating?
I date.
Okay.
And I am talking to somebody.
Okay. All right. So how did all that happen for you?
What? As far as like talking to the
person?
Did
you have an issue with breaking the ice with her or?
No, well, I'm a very straightforward person.
Okay.
So I speak and I say how I feel, but I don't say it corny. I get straight to the point.
Okay.
So I'm like, so what are you trying to do? Like you talking to me, what you trying to do?
Okay. Oh, you ask her that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what are some of your deal breakers? What are some of your do's and your don'ts of dating?
Basically, some of my deal breakers are when a person is too cool. I like people to be
just
to be who they self. Be yourself. If I feel like I gotta be extra cool around you, that get on my fucking nerves. Like I gotta always have like my shield up. I always gotta be like extra like I'm fitted.
Right.
If I can't just relax, because that's what's I'm boring. So that's what the relationship gonna be like. It's gonna be me laying on the couch on top of you, or you on top of me, eating snacks and watching TV. That's how. And then we just let the cobwebs set in. That's it.
That's what dating. That's what dating Von Roberts is like. All right, ladies. Ladies, you heard it straight from his mouth.
It's not that exciting, I promise. I'm more so in my head than anything.
Gotcha. All right. So what are we're going into 2018.
Okay.
I wanted to ask you, I saw a post that you put up today.
Yeah. About
people making announcements about cutting people off in the new year.
Yeah, because
I thought it was real funny. So who's getting cut off in 2018?
Well, I used to do that shit, but then I don't do it no more because you say you're going to cut somebody off. And then that person, you never know just how people are unpredictable. You can add up all the generalities of them. But I've said I'm going to cut a bunch of people off, and then they do something nice for me, and I forget all about the shit.
Right. I'm going to cut that person off.
Oh, you know what?
You're not being mindful. You're not being mindful of the human experience and the fact that... that people go through things. We're trying to get our financial advisor, Yo, on. He's on? Okay. So, hi, Yo.
Hey,
Hey, how are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good, good. Welcome to the last show of 2017.
Woo!
You guys, this is our financial advisor, Johan Harrison. He's on the line to share some finance tips with us on how we can get and keep our money right, especially going into the new year, right?
Indeed. I see you all in that new fancy studio.
Oh, it's very nice.
Oh,
yes,
yeah.
It's very nice. I like to second that notion.
This is compliments of what, Wells Fargo, Felicia?
Oh my God.
The poet is the station. She owns the station, but she Wells Fargo she won a contest and Wells Fargo remodeled the studio. So
well, I'm sure they
here we are enjoying the fruits of her labor. She had to write a long essay for this to happen.
I'm sure she's good with them words. His name like poetess.
With the poetess, yeah, she's good with words.
Yeah.
Yo.
I said Wells Fargo's putting some money back into the community.
Yes, they are. Sounds like it.
Good for them.
Yeah. What's going on?
Nothing much. I've got an echo. Do you hear it or just me?
Yeah, just you. I don't hear it.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just keep going. It's been amazing. It's been one hell of a year.
Mm-hmm.
It's fun to kind of sit back and look at all the amazing things that happened this year.
Mm-hmm.
It's exciting to think back and realize that we survived a full year of our president.
I know. I remember last year we had this conversation after he won the election. You're like, don't worry. Nothing that he does is really going to affect us on our level.
I know exactly what he means by that.
Do you remember saying that, Yo?
I do. And he's trying to. I mean, he affects us. I would say probably more emotionally, but he did manage to get this this new Tax Cuts and Jobs Act passed.
Mm-hmm.
Got to give him some credit for that because he signed it. And actually, most people are going to see a slight decrease in their taxes.
Okay.
There was some snaky stuff that went on though. But before I get into all that, let me just set the stage real quick because I haven't been here in a while. So listeners, forgive me. I've been gone for a minute. My father passed away in September,
mm-hmm.
and just dealing with the family and all that fun stuff. I had to take a step back. But now I'm back.
And you have a new baby at home, so
I have a new baby at home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's been a whirlwind this year, and we got a new president. So
right.
So Johan Harrison, also known as Joe Harrison, you can find me at themoneyscriptwealth.com. You can also find me on Twitter and Instagram at the Money Script, or just hit me up directly. My email, my phone number, all that stuff is on the website and on my Twitter and Instagram. So I want to talk about a couple of things today. Actually, one, I want to talk about this shady but good tax cut that we just got.
Okay.
I'll tell you all the shady part, and then I want to talk about something I know that's been on everybody's mind. I know when you went home or when you had dinner, at some point at dinner, at Thanksgiving or at Christmas, somebody talked about Bitcoin.
Yes,
I know they did.
I need to find out about what is this about?
Some bullshit. But anyway, it's interesting. I'll share that part a little bit.
Okay.
So let's dive into this tax bill real quick. So the tax bill was literally passed in the middle of the night. Most people you probably saw on the news and on the Twitter and on the Instagram and all that stuff on all the social media and media outlets that no one really knew what was in it. No one read it. And we're still unpacking the tax bill to this date. The things that we have determined is that overall, the American tax, the way taxes are done in America, in the United States, is on a progressive scale. So if you earn up to a certain amount, you pay this much tax. Then you pay another percentage on the next amount. So like the first 10,000, then the second 30,000, and so forth and so on. So everyone's bracket, for the most part, went down. There was one bracket that went up, but the bigger changes that went into effect was the doubling of the standard deduction. Now, Full disclosure, I'm not a CPA. Talk to your CPA. I'm just here to just kind of give you some overview and highlights of what happened. But if you're someone that, maybe you pay some state and local taxes, maybe you have some interest on your home, maybe you give away some money to charity, you may have had enough deductions that you can do what's called itemize on your taxes. So that's an amount of money that you get to reduce your income by before they tax you. If you don't have enough itemized deductions, then you take what's called the standard deduction. So most Americans actually take a standard deduction. So the standard deduction was doubled. So that means they doubled the amount of money that you don't have to pay taxes on. So it went from $6,000, or in 2018, it would have been $6,500 for a single person. They doubled it to $13,000. And if you are if you're married filing a joint tax return, instead of being $12,000, it's now $24,000. So that's a huge help to a lot of families out there that may not be able to itemize their taxes.
But what aren't we seeing? Is there something we're not seeing? Is there a catch to this?
So one of the catches is there's now a $10,000 limit on what's called SALT taxes, which are state and local income taxes. So your state and local income taxes in California, we pay 9% or almost 10% in Long Beach. State tax is what we're paying down here, including city tax and sales tax. So you used to be able to deduct that on your federal tax return. Well, now that's been capped at $10,000 combined with any property tax that you pay. So I know for me, a lot of my clients, typically would have $30,000 to $40,000 worth of itemized deductions because if they lived in California, they're paying, $10,000, $15,000 of state and local income taxes, and then another, $10,000 of property taxes. Well, now that's been capped at $10,000. The other thing that was a bit of a curveball is what's called the personal exemption. Personal exemption was a set amount of money that also doesn't get taxed based on the amount of dependents in your household. So like for me, it's my wife and 2 children. So I have 4 exemptions on my tax return this year. Mm-hmm. 1 for myself, 1 for my wife, and 1 for each of my kids. When my father was alive, I was actually claiming him, so I would have 5. So those exemptions are gone. So they have disappeared. You no longer get to take that personal exemption. It was replaced by what's called a child tax credit, which you have a child that's under 17, you can take a tax credit of up to $2,000 for that child, as long as you make less than $400,000. So here's where it's kind of a little backwards. They took away the personal exemption, which was worth $4,000, and replaced it with a credit that's worth $2,000. So I'm from the streets, and I know that don't add up.
Right.
But
okay.
We'll keep moving. So the real funny part about it that, again, they're just now starting to unpack is how a lot of the cuts were temporary. Mm-hmm. And so they phase out over time, and they made a huge change to how, and we get real technical here, but I'm gonna break it down for you, how cost of living adjustments are calculated. So cost of living adjustment, we talked about this some shows ago where we talk about inflation, how it costs more to live every year. I think the example I gave when I was on the call is when I was 14, 15 years old, it cost $8 to get a haircut. Today it costs $25.
Right.
When I was 16, I fill up my gas tank for $12. Today it costs me $60 or whatever. So that's inflation. That's the gradual increase of cost of living. Well, the tax code is now going to use what's called chain cost of living. And the chain represents how we as intelligent Americans, if the price of steak goes up, we won't buy steak. Instead, we'll just buy hamburger. Or if the price of whole wheat bread goes up too much, we'll just buy the regular white bread. Or if you get what I'm saying, how we replace things.
Yeah.
So now our taxes, those brackets I talked about before, those increase over time so that to try to keep up with our income going up. Mm-hmm. So what's going to happen in the future is that our taxes are going to be growing by about 7% faster than our income will be growing. So in other words, this tax break that everybody's getting is going to last for only about a year or two. It's going to last as long as Trump's in office. That's really what it comes down to. But you know, we're so short-sighted. Nobody really sees that, and everyone will just be happy that 2018.
I know that. Gosh, his name. Why did his name just leave? Last name is Sanders. Bernie Sanders, yeah. Bernie Sanders actually said that he broke it down the way that you're explaining it right now. He said, it seems like a big victory now, but in a few years it's gonna be completely opposite.
Completely
We're gonna be paying more.
Completely. So that one little change of how they calculate the cost of living index was worth $400 billion in revenue to the United States government over the next 10 years. So. And like I said, no one really sees it because everyone's so focused. Well, just the general public tends to be so focused on what's in it for me right now, not so much of what this is going to mean for me 4 or 5 years from now. Right. But I will tell you this. So I have clients that make no money. I mean, I have clients that are college students, and you know, they're just investing in their small inheritance they got from grandma or something like that. And I also have clients that make over $1 million a year.
Okay.
I ran some numbers. My clients that make over $1 million are going to get going to save somewhere between $30,000 to $50,000 on their taxes in 2018.
Okay.
So when they say this was a tax cut for the rich, it was. I mean, can you imagine? That's like a whole salary. And I can tell you what, they ain't going to hire nobody with that money. They're going to take the money and they're going to buy a Jeep or something. They're not going to hire anyone with that.
And that's what they're saying, that like that's going to be like an incentive, because a lot of like C corps are going to be supposedly supposed to be seeing some tax cuts. That won't happen until like the end of 2018 or going into 2019, right? Exactly.
So so corporations, the tax rate's going from 35 down to 21. And then if you are a pass-through organization that's not financial, healthcare, or law-related. Uh-oh. Did I lose you? Are you there?
No, I hear you. Are you still there?
Okay, yeah, I'm still here.
Okay.
Phone rang all of a sudden. It was weird.
Oh, okay.
Skype rang. And then pass-through organizations get an additional 20% discount. So it ends up being like a 7% reduction in tax. In tax. And it's funny, I was talking to a corporation today, a client of mine for many years, and I was on the phone with him, with the president and CPA. We're all on a 3-way call, and we're calculating, you know, how much money they'll be able to save in 2018. And asked, okay, so what do you want to do with the money? I mean, you want to reinvest it or what have you? And it's like, no, I want to pay myself. He did not say I want to hire more people.
Right. So I was going to say, I don't know that this necessarily gives the business owners an incentive to hire more people.
No, I've done a lot of reading and studying on the whole trickle down economics effect. And here's what I'll share with you. The last time we had when Donald Trump is honest when he's saying, wow, that feels weird saying that. Donald Trump is honest when he says, that this is the largest tax cut that we've seen in history. And that's just the history that we've seen. That's because most people that would have seen a tax cut like this were alive in 1924. So that was the last time we had a cut like this that happened. So that was 1924. It went into effect. And it was this whole trickle down economics theory. And what happened in 1929, 5 years after that tax law changed?
Great Recession.
The Great Depression.
You're damn right. So I'm not saying that we're having a Great Depression in 5 years, but what I am saying is that history loves to repeat itself.
Right.
So, with that said,
oh my God, riots.
most Americans, I think the numbers are coming in between 70 and 78% of Americans will see a tax decrease of anywhere between 1 to 3% that they'll pay less in taxes in 2018.
What
which
can
is
we
nice.
do, knowing that there's a potential negative downfall for this within 2 to 3 years? What can we do to protect ourselves now?
Save money.
Don't spend the money that you end up saving on taxes.
Okay, so it's just that simple. Just save.
Rainy
That-
day
just
is
save.
coming, baby.
Just
That rain
save
is
and
coming.
continue. And this goes back to a lot of things we've talked about before, learning how to live on less than what you make.
Okay.
And if you can consistently do that, these changes in the tax code, they create an opportunity for you to just save more, and just get ahead so that you can, live above all this. I have another client I was on the phone with today. 'Cause everybody's been asking, what's this going to mean for my taxes? I'm like, you guys, it doesn't go into effect until next year. It doesn't mean anything right now.
Right.
The taxes you're filing, in the next couple of months are for this year, not the new tax code. But I have a client. He's him and his wife are retired. They live in New Orleans, Louisiana, and it was on a call with him and his CPA. And for the second year in a row, they're going to pay almost nothing in taxes because 10 years ago, I helped them structure their retirement income stream so that the first 5 to 7 years of retirement, they could basically live tax-free because all of the money that they're taking in right now are from places that don't cost them any money in taxes. So that's been pretty exciting for them. It's like, wait, all this stuff, you mean I'm going to save on taxes, but I don't have to pay any? It's like, yeah, sorry, I guess.
Yeah.
Or enjoy.
Congratulations.
So how much time do we have? I wanted to spend a little bit of time talking about this.
Let's
crazy.
get into the Bitcoin thing really quick.
So Bitcoin, quick high level overview. What is it? It is cryptocurrency. It is a currency that is derived from a bunch of computers talking to each other and solving a puzzle that only multiple computers can solve. So it kind of goes back to the whole adage that computers are just, they're programmed, ones and zeros. They only do what we tell them to do. So with that, you can create these puzzles inside of a computer that computers can get together to solve that can only be solved in one way. So then you get a unique identifier, and that then became what was created as the coin, as the cryptocurrency or Bitcoin. So first of all, there's over, I think it's 100 and something different cryptocurrencies now, and probably growing. There's probably 300 today. There's lots of them out there. It's not just Bitcoin. Some of the most popular are Bitcoin. I just got to name a Litecoin, Ethereum, and one that's popping up in the news here recently is called Ripple. The first thing I want to say about these cryptocurrencies is that they are not currencies, okay? A currency is something that you can exchange for a good or a service. Mm-hmm. There are very few, if any, organizations in the United States that are accepting cryptocurrency as an exchange for a good or service.
Oh, okay.
The backbone behind cryptocurrency, which is the blockchain technology, which is what I was describing earlier, that puzzle that's solved by multiple computers, the blockchain technology is a real thing. Okay, it is growing fast in the financial community, growing fast in the logistics community. Blockchain technology is here to stay because it creates us with a way to exchange information in an encrypted mode that cannot be hacked because the information doesn't sit on a server somewhere. You know how Equifax got hacked because someone went in and took a bunch of names off the server. Right. Well, you're using the blockchain. The collective information doesn't sit on a server idle for someone to come take it because it's bits and pieces of it are broken up across multiple computers across maybe the globe. So my view on the whole cryptocurrency is that the backbone blockchain technology, that is real, that's here to stay, that will continue to integrate its way into our society. Whether or not Bitcoin will be here in 5 years or Ripple will be here in 5 years or Ethereum or what have you, who knows who will still be around. And there's still a lot of theft that's happening of Bitcoin, I can't say Bitcoin because there's many different ones, but there's a lot of theft that's happening of cryptocurrencies because people keep storing them on a server, which then defeats the purpose of having all of this cryptic technology because someone can go in and steal it. And people have been stealing millions of this stuff all across the globe.
Wow.
So,
well, they say that cash is going to be like no more soon.
You know, we've been saying that since the Civil War. That actually happened to Confederate dollars. Confederate dollars are no more. There's no Confederate dollars anymore. And that's what's interesting to kind of go back and look at how a currency becomes a part of our society. In order for a currency to be legitimized, it has to be regulated by a government entity. Or else you have, you have the Wild West, and a currency can't survive in the Wild West, and that's probably the problem with Bitcoin right now, of why it's not a currency, because I bought a new truck for Christmas, and the truck cost me $40,000. You know, if I had went to my dealer with Bitcoin on, let's say, about a week ago, Bitcoin was trading at, I don't know, $19,000, $20,000 a coin. If I went and gave him 2 Bitcoins for my truck, by the time he went to try to convert his Bitcoin to cash on Christmas Eve, it would have been worth only $20,000. That's a real problem. You can't use Bitcoin as a currency if I'm receiving it as a good and it's worth half what it used to be within 24 hours.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's why I'm saying it's not yet a currency. They're trying, but they're not there yet. And that's why you have all these other different types of coins that are popping up. Okay. So what I've been saying to people is if you think you're going to be the next Bitcoin millionaire, you're probably not. But if you really want to try it and you want to go invest in it, and you want to go, open up an account, buy some Bitcoin, or buy some Ethereum, or Litecoin, what have you, I encourage you to only go and invest as much as you would put down at the blackjack table in Vegas.
Got it.
You're willing to go to Vegas and blow $1,000, by all means. You can go put $1,000 and name your Bitcoin or what have you. The second piece of advice that I would give you is don't gamble with the house's money.
Right.
So my own personal experience, I did buy some Bitcoin. I did it. I broke down. I think it was on December 9th at like 1 o'clock in the morning, because my clients kept asking me. I was like, okay, fine. Let me go figure this out. Right. It took me like 35 minutes to figure it out. I finally figured it out. I invested $750. And today my $750 is worth about $1,100. However, I've already converted 400 of it to cash because I don't want to gamble with the house's money. So my 750 is still invested in the 3 different coins, and I have 400 that I've already converted to cash, because when I bought Litecoin, it was $100, and within 2 days it was worth 300. Hindsight, I was like, damn, I should have put all 700 in Litecoin, but who knew? But yeah, so buyer beware. It's not. Please, listeners, if you get invited to some Bitcoin or cryptocurrency symposium or workshop, you can go listen. Do not give those people your money. Just don't. I'm hearing stories about people handing over bags of cash to these people that are going to give them some Bitcoin or Ethereum, and charging them like 10-15% fees. Don't do it. You can just go online and buy it yourself. You do not need to hand your money to anyone.
You can hand me some bags. I'll secure those bags.
Like, I will convert it right now.
All right, yo. Well, thank you so much for all that good information as usual. Next time, yo, I want you to give us some retirement 401k retirement advice for millennials.
I can do that because the numbers. Huh? Yeah, the numbers did change for 2018, so I can go over those changes. And because millennials, you guys, or I guess me too. I'm kind of a millennial. I'm a cusp. Yeah. But we have it easier than our heirs did. I'll tell you that right now. When it comes to saving, we can do a lot more than they ever did. So we can take advantage.
All right. Well, I am looking forward to it. Thanks so much, yo.
You're welcome.
We'll see you next year.
See you next year.
I love saying that.
Yo Harrison is the man.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
You guys are tuned into The Scoop, and that was Yo Harrison, our financial advisor. We just got some real good information, right, Vaughn?
Somebody, I can't tell you how many, because I'm always like trying to figure out a way to make extra dough or
Right.
flip cash or whatever.
Right.
And a couple of my boys kept telling me like, "Hey, Bitcoin, come on, come on." And I'm like, nah,
It don't sound right. This don't sound right.
Good. and then, okay, so I was at the airport, and these two girls, they were using a card, and I guess they figure out how to put use the cryptocurrency on the card.
On the card.
So they were going to different places and swiping the card. Some places it would work, some places it wouldn't. But to figure out if it was going to work or not, they would put like a bunch of shit on the thing. Would make it seem like they stole somebody else's card. But as a cashier, you just going to ring them up anyway because you don't know if, you know what I'm saying? Especially if they showing you an ID, you don't know if it's fake, real, or whatever. Right. So you just going to do your job because you don't want to be rude because they could sue you for that shit.
Right.
So it was crazy. I saw the manager chick. I guess she was the manager of the concourse, so she ended up trying to chase after him. I was like, I hope she don't catch him because they gonna beat the hell out of her until they police come. Because it's like, once you get caught up doing that, you know what I'm saying? These two girls, they were clearly like either strippers or something. They were in great shape.
Yeah.
But they was not trying to spend their own money.
Strippers are in really good shape.
Yeah, so they would have beat her forever with their arms and shoulders.
Yeah.
Man.
All right. Well,
it's crazy.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna hold off on the Bitcoin.
Yeah, the Bitcoin situation is very nerve wracking.
Yeah, it's definitely over my head.
But if you bored and I would say if you bored and you instead of spending money on
yet?
No.
Okay.
But I would instead of spending money on Jordans, I would spend money on the Bitcoin.
Yeah. That would make sense. That would be justified.
Yeah, because instead of dropping 200 on that, I can drop 200 over here and split it up, and then maybe get 400 out of that.
400, yeah. I like that. I like your way of thinking.
Yeah,
I like it. Yeah. All right, so let's get into what's up next for Von Roberts. We are going into a new year. What can we see from you?
Well, first off, I'm gonna keep working.
Okay.
That's as far as that. Just creating my own presence on the internet and just trying to build my own fan base and just really connect with the people that really want to see more out of me. Mm-hmm. And that way, once you build your own fan base, the game can't take you out. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, people think Joe Budden is done because he left the Complex show.
No, I don't think so.
He's not done. He has the fan base from when he had the podcast. There's still people that follow him from Pump It Up. And that was years ago.
Right.
So, you know what I mean? As long as you create that solid fan base and you cater to them, you will be around for a very long time. Because Yo-Yo still does shows.
So that's your goal
that's my goal
to build that up.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, to just build that. And whatever other blessings come my way, I'll accept them.
You'll accept those too. So there's been a lot of scandal in 2017. Yes. We talked briefly about the sexual assault allegations and all of that. So what are your thoughts on the recent sexual assault allegations, like against Russell Simmons and Tavis Smiley and Harvey Weinstein? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, first, I want to state, before I get real reckless.
Get reckless.
I'm going to say that I am surrounded by women in my family. I was raised by my mother. So I would never like or even encourage the just abuse of women and anything like that. And I encourage women to always build their own platform and go for theirs and be the best they can be. And know that, you know what I'm saying, you're going to have guys like that you encounter who are going to still look at you a certain way. And if you come into an atmosphere very professional and about yours, then there ain't nothing they can do. All they can do is admire. You know what I mean? That being said, those guys are weird. But if those guys, because you never know, right? It's very scary for me being a man because I know that there's a good chance that some of those allegations might be false. You know what
so
I mean?
you got to be extra careful
You
how
actually
you
got to
move.
be extra careful how you move and how you contact females, especially, and then what females are you dealing with? You know what I mean? For instance, Russell Simmons, that female hit him with the allegation, and he met her like over 20 years ago.
Yep.
And she was coming to his apartment to hang out. They were actually messing around for 2 days in his apartment. So it's like, why would you say that about me? And then some other chick said that he did it over a phone. I'm pretty sure they swept that out the window, but just the point of them mentioning his name in the same breath as a Weinstein was terrible. You know what I mean? Especially when he's got all these things going on.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you never want to have to fight for your reputation, because your reputation at one point is all you have.
Yeah.
You know, and then you look at Nelly, people had to come to his defense to validate that he wasn't like that.
He wasn't, yeah. And then it came out that the girl was lying.
Yeah, like, why would you do that? And it's not even just women who are doing that. It is the transgender community. A lot of the ones in the transgender community are doing that too. Not a lot, but some. The ones that are primarily dealing with the hip hop artists. Like, there's this one that lied on Chingy, and then after Chingy's career is over, comes out and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that." What? Come on.
My God.
He's finished. Why would you do that?
Oh, jeez.
He can never come back again.
Right.
Like, those are the things that make me go, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And make it hard for people of opposite sex to work together, because they're always afraid of the other person. You know, like and
the problem is, I think it's a super gray area.
Yeah.
And also, when these allegations come out, it kind of it derails everything. There's no process of there's no justice process.
No.
It's just the allegations out, and that's what it is.
And he's finished.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, so you heard about Silicon Valley, right? There's these women that they make products. But the investors don't want to mess with them because of the fact that the women are either they won't play the game or they are afraid of getting hit with that allegation.
Right.
You know, so it messes up and then I heard another woman that was in power say that maybe we should just take out all the men of power and put women instead, which is a nice idea, because you end up turning into the bully.
Right.
You want to make it so that everybody has an equal opportunity to be great, and that everybody in a good world would, you know what I'm saying, be judged off of their credibility and their skill set rather than who is a woman and who is a man.
Right. This is true. That's very,
you know what I mean?
That's very true.
So
how have these allegations changed, or have these allegations changed the way that you approach like your comedy? Do you feel scared? Not scared, but just more mindful now? Like, I better not say this, or I better say, like, do you ever shy? Are you now shying away from sexually explicit content?
no.
Or no? Okay.
No, what I do is I talk to my mom first.
You talk to your mom about it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I talk to my mom first.
Okay.
And my mom is like an older version of me. So it's good to talk to
so
a
she's
mirror.
not
She's not. My mom raised me much primarily in my life. Shouts out to all the father figures I've had in my life. But my mom was with me most of the time. So she played the part of man and woman. So she comes at it like, she's trying to fuck you over. She's trying to do this. I know her. That bitch scandalous. I see her. You know what I'm saying? So she comes at it from a fair point of view. So when I talk to her about these things, I go, how should I approach this? Because if I say it like this, I feel that it's harsh. And then she'll go, well, don't approach it with emotion. Approach it with logic, because you can't argue with logic. You know what I'm saying? If something makes sense, even if somebody's like, I feel, hey, it don't fucking make sense. Get that shit out of here, you and your feelings, because this is a place of business at the end of the day.
Right.
Because that's where the problem lies, is the disrespect in the business area. Like, you can have that shit happen at a bar all day, but once money is involved, then it's a different ball game. People are gonna get fired.
Right.
Yeah. I also have like I made a post. I took it down, but I made a post. It was very.
You did a post and delete.
Yeah,
okay.
Because people were talking to me too much about it. I hate being talked to about something.
Oh, okay.
But it wasn't in a negative. It was just like, that's not true. But in my heart, in my experience, I felt like it was true because of my experience in life. Me, when I worked in a corporate world or in a corporate setting or in a business setting, I've always been the guy that you work with that is said like some inappropriate stuff, but it's cool because it's me.
Yeah.
And we laugh together.
Right.
Like, you'd be like, oh, that's you'd be like, oh, that's Vaughn. He's sick. He says crazy shit like that. But let it be like some ugly old man.
So you think if Harvey Weinstein was attractive, there would be no sexual...
If he looked good, maybe. If he was an Idris Elba, we never know.
If he was Idris or if that was like a Shamar Moore.
Exactly.
It would be no.
We don't know how
assault.
Many women Shamar Moore has sexually harassed. Because there's a lot of different rumors flying around about that guy. But you don't know how many.
Well, we'll just use Idris Elba as an example. Idris, I think any kind of sexual attention from Idris would be welcome. It would be welcome.
Is a god. He'd come through and slap your ass.
Yeah.
You'd be like, Idris, you're stupid.
Right. Do it again. Do it again.
He's like, would you like to join me for some coffee and tea? Or whatever, some bullshit like that. You'd be like, oh, Idris, that's inappropriate.
Yeah.
I'ma come.
I want all your inappropriateness, Idris. Yeah.
For real.
No, that's true. It's just been a lot of scandal in 2017. What about, so you're a comedian.
Yeah.
So the whole Kevin Hart situation.
Well.
What? All y'all was in trouble at home with your
niggas were scared to say what they wanted to say about Kevin Hart. I'm going to say this.
Okay.
I love Kevin Hart. He creates a platform for comedians. Let's get that out the way. But that was... You got caught lacking, big bro. That was fucking crazy. Like, the girl fixed the camera phone. You saw the footage? I was like, whoa, what is this? She had time. One had time. One was smacking him on the bed. The other one was fixing the phone. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But what I would say to that is just don't do it. You know, you have your girl. Your girl's a model. You know, maybe just be a good guy or be better. Because you're not a bad guy, but just be better to your girl. But from another standpoint, because I value all perspectives. Another standpoint, you know what I'm saying? Maybe just not fuck with girls that have Instagram. Go fuck with like some fucking Panamanian who just looks good and walks up and down the beach with no social media.
So pick better side chicks.
Yeah, go
pick
fuck
better
with,
side pieces.
Go fuck with a Brazilian who can't speak English. Who wants to get to America.
That actually might be a good idea.
Exactly.
That actually would
go smash like some islander and she just be like, oh, Kevin Hart saved me, and he just leaves.
That's actually pretty funny. All right. Okay, so where can people find Vaughn Roburts? Like, where can people find all your videos and your content and the good stuff?
You can Google Vaughn Roburts, VONROBURTS.
URTS. Yeah. That's the key. It's
the key is the U.
Okay.
The key is in you, baby.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? VaughnRoberts.com. That always works. And Vaughn Roberts, just type it in and everything will come up.
Nice. Okay.
I'm one of the very few people with that name. I am the only one, so that works.
There's a Vaughn Roberts with an O.
Yeah, but he's goofy. So we're not gonna talk about that guy.
Do you know him?
No.
But you've seen his videos.
No, I don't even think he should exist. But that's just me.
Oh, you're pulling that.
I think he just made that ass name up on some shit like, oh, I'm gonna. This will make me unique. This will give me more clicks on Google. Got it. I'm being an asshole right now, but shouts out to him.
All right. Okay, so we have a segment called Scoop News.
Let's do it.
And I have we're gonna be talking about. Let's see, we only have a few more minutes. We're gonna be talking about Eva Marcel. Do you know who Eva is?
Yeah, she's beautiful.
Yeah, she's beautiful. And
there ain't too much you can say beyond that.
Yeah, so Eva Marcel announced over the Christmas holiday that she is engaged to her attorney boyfriend, Michael Sterling.
That works.
So he reportedly is actually representing Russell Simmons.
Oh.
Yeah, in his sexual assault and rape allegation cases. But anyways, Eva has a 3-year-old daughter with singer Kevin McCall. That's the ring. There's Eva with the ring. She posted that picture on Christmas Day. So the couple lives in Atlanta. He's an attorney. She's obviously a model. So shout out to them. Just wanted to.
She's still very beautiful.
She's cute. Yeah, she's a cute girl. All right. So, and Eric Garner, do you remember him?
Yeah.
So he was fatally shot and killed by police in
RIP.
2014.
Yeah.
His daughter actually suffered a heart attack this past weekend.
That's crazy.
And reports are saying that she suffered major brain damage from the lack of oxygen going to her brain while she was in cardiac arrest. So prayers up to Erica Garner.
Yeah, prayers to her.
She's only 27.
That's terrible, man.
Yeah, she's only 27 and had a heart attack. So we're praying for her to pull through. Now this story is kind of funny. So Leanne, her name is Leanne Kazan. She's a 77-year-old actress. She was in the movie My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think
we have a picture of her.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So she was actually arrested for allegedly stealing groceries.
Damn.
She went to Gelson's. You're an LA native, so you know about Gelson's. She went to Gelson's and loaded up her cart with $180 worth of groceries.
And then peanut butter, and that was it.
I know, because Gelson's, for those of you that don't know, Gelson's is like a Whole Foods.
That's why I was like, which was probably like a peanut butter and some bread.
I know, she probably got peanut butter jelly and some bread. But it's $180 worth of food and placed it in reusable bags and walked out of the store. So one of the employees caught her and stopped her. And then they called the police.
I guess that was awkward.
I know, that's super awkward, especially when you figure out who the heck she is.
Do you know who I am? I don't give a fuck about that movie. You're going to jail.
But she said she didn't have any money.
What?
She said she didn't have any money. So they handcuffed her, arrested her, and cited her for shoplifting. But they released her later on.
Didn't the Greek Wedding movie have like a sequel?
I think it does have a sequel.
Where's the fucking money?
Bitcoin.
Oh, good. You're good.
Bitcoin.
Good job.
No,
good job. Good serve.
But yeah, I don't know. But she said she didn't have no more coins.
Oh, she's fucking sick.
Yeah. So
But hey, there's a bunch of actors like that out here. That are just walking around here broke and sad.
Yeah. I think the problem is if you're not able to get another role, you can't go get like a regular job because you kind of have some notoriety about yourself. I don't give a
fuck. You better go work at that Walmart like a mill.
I've seen actors do like car sales. Cole from Martin, he was like a car salesman. Yeah, he said he had no shame in it either. TMZ caught him.
Hey, you gotta work, man.
Yeah, gotta feed. He was like, I have kids at home.
Everybody can't follow that fucking Will Smith advice. That Will Smith advice is also
focus on plan A.
Yeah,
because
no plan B.
There's no plan B.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I cannot say I agree fully and wholeheartedly.
You realize when he gave that advice out, he was a Grammy artist already.
Right.
He was a Grammy artist,
and it doesn't work that way for everybody.
What the fuck are you talking about? You're talking to regular people at home watching this on YouTube, like, yes, Will Smith.
So what is your plan B?
My plan B is to just use my brains. I went to college for a little bit, so I got some little knowledge behind me.
Okay.
Just make sure that I'm doing right by my money, investing in the right moves, and constantly looking for a new way to make my money move for me. Yeah. So I'm constantly always trying to learn about different ways to move money and different ways to invest my money that I could see the return on.
What's your favorite way to invest right now? Like, what do you want right now? Well, what has your attention?
My attention right now is I've basically been saving. I haven't really been putting my money into any real investments, but just saving. And then I like to put my money in an IRA when I have enough of it, or a CD, and just let it sit there and let the banks deal with it. Because a lot of times, if you don't have that savvy ass brain to where you're able to work with the stock market or even work with the penny stocks or even do different tricks with the bank. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to put yourself in a position where you don't understand what's happening with your money.
Right. So
You know what I'm saying?
so you're more of a safe investor.
I'm safe. I'm very safe.
Conservative. I think
very conservative,
that's the
and I think the money is more safe with me than anybody else's hands. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because I know I'm not going to spend it. I know what's worth and what's not worth it to spend it on, and what's, you know what I'm saying? Because once you get to the banks,
that's why with dating Vaughn, you're hanging out at home, you're watching TV and eating snacks, right?
Hey, why the fuck do we have to go on a date? You already got me.
Oh my god.
That's like refinancing a car all the fucking time.
How do you court?
How do I court?
Yeah.
Whisper sweet nothings in your ear.
Oh my god. So
while
there's
fucking binge watching Netflix shows.
That's your court. That's your courting. That's your courting.
Nah, you gotta really like me. If you like me, then anything I do will be great for you.
Okay.
For instance, I tell people all the time. I tell my guys, because I have a bunch of dudes that grow without dads and shit. So they a lot of times they don't know how to communicate with women, or they do extra shit because they've heard it from a woman or from some TV show or seen somebody else do it. And I'm like, dude, you gonna keep. First of all, there's no existence of game. Okay, so you can run game on a fucking chick all you want, which is basically you lying or exaggerating. Right. You can run game on her all you want, but you have to constantly run game on her every fucking day. Right. That becomes exhausting. You gotta wake up.
You gotta keep up with your lies.
You gotta wake up whispering goofy shit, saying some goofy shit, or keeping her out the loop long enough for her to keep her interest.
Right.
So you might as well just keep it 100 up front, and if she likes you, she's gonna fuck with you because of you, and you just gotta focus on developing yourself.
That's
focus
good.
on developing yourself.
That's really good advice.
And be the best you can be, and she'll like you. And whatever level you're on is the type of women you will attract at that point in time. So if you're at a good level, you'll attract those women that you want to see. Those women that are driving their own cars, got their own house, and all that other shit because you got your own shit.
Because you have it. Yep, that's the truth.
You know what I'm saying? If you not on that certain level, you're going to attract women that are trying to come up, trying to make it. And you can choose to deal with them or choose to go back to the drawing board and focus on development.
Yep. And then try it again later when you're at a better.
It's way easier to just focus on you. Women smell when a nigga's doing right for himself. When they can smell that, then they come to you rather than you fucking, hey, you want to roll this blunt? Or hey, you want to Netflix and chill? You want to...
Well, what do you mean come to you?
Well, you'll be in an environment, and then a woman will have an attraction, or she'll see that you're focused on whatever you're doing in that environment. She'll see you're focused, and you can grab her interest. Some women see a dude and think he's cute, and then when she starts talking to him, she's like, oh, this nigga's whack. When she see you and she talk to you, and then you got something productive to say about the growth of yourself or the growth
whatever
of
you're doing,
or whatever you're doing, and that interests her, then that's your icebreaker.
That's good. You have some good some good dating advice.
Yes, it's easy.
So what are we leaving in 2017? What trends? What trends irritate you that we're leaving in 2017?
I hate false connections.
So we're leaving false connections.
False connections. We can leave that. I hate having to play in this networking and branding world. Like if your shit is real, your shit is good, and you're a real artist, you're great. That should be enough. And we're starting to see that because of all that shit that's been happening. We got garbage ass music. We got garbage ass movies. We got all this garbage because you're basically putting on your friends, networking ass niggas, instead of putting on people who have real legitimate talent. That's why we're missing out on more of the Christopher Nolan type directors. We're missing out on more of the John Singleton type directors. We're missing out on more of those guys because we're hooking up your fucking homies. And your homie just learned how to edit yesterday.
Uh-oh.
Fuck out of here.
Yeah. Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can't not say, no disrespect, but you watch the Tupac movie, then you look at the backstory, and it was a homie thing. Homies got together and did that movie. And the one professional nigga that got kicked off the movie, they kicked off the movie. You know what I'm saying? John Singleton. I don't know. I heard the stories, but I don't know. There's two sides to every story, but I think maybe they should have left John Singleton on that cast of hooking that movie up, because he has a long line of great successes.
Yeah, he does.
And then you look at the movie and he's not doing it no more, and you see the outcome, you're like, oh.
So you weren't impressed with the movie?
It got bad reviews. We can't lie and say that, oh, it was good because it had Tupac's name on it. True or false? How'd you feel about the movie?
That's true.
I mean, you got to be 100. We're in an age where you can't do the friend shit no more. You got to be 100. You can keep your friends, love them, but let them grow a little bit more. Don't fucking put them in an opportunity that they're not ready to be blessed with. Just because they're your friends and you want to recirculate the money through your crew.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Throw it out there. Let a professional handle it, and then you guys can build up, and then eventually have that situation where you have like an Adam Sandler crew where everybody's doing well, and everything that you do is successful.
Right. I like that. Vaughn.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, we've been hanging out with Vaughn Roburts, actor, comedian. He got a lot to say.
I just open me up and I'll give you something.
I know that's great. I love it. So be on the lookout for Vaughn 2018. His Instagram is what? What are your handles?
Vaughn Roburts everything. That's for Instagram, Facebook Live page, Twitter, whatever else, and that's VONROBURTS.
I bet your Twitter is live.
It does be live sometimes. Like when I post something, either I'll get a whole bunch of arguments or somebody will be like, "That's right."
Yeah. I feel like you probably ruffle some feathers.
Oh yeah, because I'm not finna say. Shouts out to Dwayne Finley. I'm not finna say no bullshit. I'm gonna say how I feel, but a lot of times that gets me in trouble. So I gotta learn how to
filter and
when to say certain
when
things.
And where.
Yeah.
And how.
Yeah.
It's all about how you say it.
That's true. I've been working on that too. People have been telling me I can get very vicious at the wrong time. Oh. Because when I say something or when I'm saying something and I get into it, I really bathe in that shit.
What sign are you?
I'm a Taurus.
Taurus. Oh, okay. All right. That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You remember they said what about Malcolm X? He's a Taurus too.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm a Taurus.
That's good.
Yeah.
When we start saying things, the realness can be too much to handle.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
We'll close on that.
Yeah.
We'll close on that note. All right, Vaughn, thanks for hanging out. That was fun. For having me. That was fun. You guys, you can check us out on Wednesdays here on MorrisMediaLive.com. We'll be back in 2018 with some new guests, and it's a lot going on in 2018 for The Scoop. Check out our Instagram page, The Scoop on Air, and Twitter. I need to get on Twitter a little bit more, and that's The Scoop on Air as well. We're on Facebook too, The Scoop on Air, everything. My personal Instagram is Ms. Ashley Marie. And you can also email us if you have any show ideas or if you want to come on as a guest, thescooponair@gmail.com. Other than that, thank you guys all for tuning in. I wish you a very happy and prosperous New Year, and have fun New Year's Eve. I meant to ask you what you're doing for New Year's Eve.
I'm going to be in a house.
That's boring. So boring.
In a house preparing for next year.
That's so boring. All right.
It's safe.
You guys, you can hopefully my New Year's Eve celebration is fun.
Yeah, so. Get it lit.
Yeah, I might be a little wild.
Yeah.
All right, you guys, thanks so much for tuning in. See you next year.